All right, y'all. So let's go ahead. Let's start off these reactions, shall we? We've been chopping it up for almost like 2 hours. All right. So we got the chance to react to Poppy Playtime Chapter 4's trailer. But now we have to go ahead and see levels of explaints about with this. It's showing a lot more darker aesthetics. And I'm excited. I was wholeheartedly scared to play this franchise in the beginning. But I went through Poppy Playtime 1, 2, and 3. And with some help along the way from some very helpful people, we got through it. We got through it and we beat the game. So without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead. Let's jump into this. Poppy Playtime Chapter 4's trailer explained. Let's get into this next video, y'all. Let's do it.
Mob Entertainment has finally dropped the official trailer for Chapter 4 of Poppy Playtime, and there's a lot to go over. I made sure to analyze every frame, pixel, and piece of audio in this trailer to get as much info as possible for what's to come for Chapter 4. We'll be going over the new monster, the red smoke implications, the new locations, and much more. So, with that being said, let's go over the trailer together and speculate on what we see after. The trailer opens up right where we left off in Chapter 3. Descending down the lift with Poppy, we can hear the screams of Kissy Missy and Poppy calling out to her just like the end of the chapter. And as we descend further, brief flashes of red lights flicker in the distance. The screen cuts to black, and we're now looking at the entrance for the elevator that we're descending down, revealing a dimly lit, eerily quiet floor. Above the door, a pipe with a large red smoke capsule embedded in it snakes along the ceiling. Stepping out of the elevator, our perspective shifts, and suddenly, it feels as though we're being watched. The screen takes on a reddish pink hue, as if we're viewing ourselves through someone else's eyes. Our character's shadow moves across the floor, leaving the elevator and walking deeper into the factory, while this unseen watcher lingers. The camera cuts again, this time.
I gotta say this. I know with the protagonist, I get it. We're supposed to be the protagonist, but damn it, like, is there a point in time where you're just like, shit, I thought I was gonna be out of this bitch? Come on, gang. You went through quite a lot within going through this, and especially through Chapter 3. You went through quite a lot. You know what I mean? But I still don't trust Ollie. I still don't trust Ollie neither. Because it's like, how did Ollie know of certain things where it's just like, wait, hold on. How did you know this? Hey, you know what I mean? How did he know this? But we're gonna face those nightmare critters. What if we don't need to face them? Why is this toy factory built on top of a cave? My point exactly. There's so many things it is that I'm thinking of that I'm just like, okay. It's already as twisted as it is. And now we're about to learn more about this with Caves 1C. Now you got like Caves version in different letters and alphabetical.
Time to assign reading Caves 1C, accompanied by a hand scanner next to the entryway. This part of the factory feels more primal, with natural rock formations
Area
and a
51,
less
but
refined
toys.
industrial structure.
What's up, Y? How are
As we
you?
go further into these caves, we notice more of the red smoke capsules embedded in pipes scattered throughout. Our exploration leads us to seeing a massive pile of discarded plush toys stacked into what looks like a toy graveyard. Upon seeing this, you can quickly catch a random toy scurrying across the pile to make sure it doesn't get seen. Continuing down a narrow path, we enter a room filled with even more of the red smoke pipes lining the walls and ceiling. One of the pipes even leads to a small room dispersing red smoke, almost like a chamber to sedate someone. The camera then catches sight of a small purple plush toy crawling to the next corner of the room, but suddenly a much larger orange toy stomps down on it, crushing its head and instantly killing it. Our view shifts once again and we see a security security camera mounted on the ceiling, slowly swiveling to follow our movement. As we approach a desk in the center of the room, one of the surveillance monitors flickers to life, briefly displaying a shadowy, fluffy figure scurrying across the screen before it abruptly cuts back to static. We move closer to the desk and the ambient hum intensifies. On the monitor behind the desk, a single purple eye stares at us. Suddenly, the purple eye shifts to an alarming red.
He said, "Oh my God, it's
something
Simba."
dangerous just arrived. As we begin to turn around, the faint sound of distorted music fills the room, echoing softly as it grows louder. We're then met with the sight of a peculiar creature, a yellow-colored toy with 3 jagged teeth and rainbow hair. The creature stares at us, almost curiously.
Simba, but a monster. Y'all are not shit. Y'all are not uncalled for. Uncalled for.
Before its face splits open down the middle, revealing a spiraling maw lined with rows upon rows of teeth leading down into a fleshy throat. The screen cuts to black and the release date for Chapter 4 appears, January 4th, 2025.
And
now it's time to speculate on what we actually saw. The rainbow-haired creature introduced to us at the end of the Chapter 4 trailer is...
see, I don't like this.
The rainbow-haired creature...
because you see how ominous these eyes were beforehand?
Introduced to us at the end of the Chapter
To this.
4 trailer is unmistakably Yarnaby, a twisted creation with a sinister, almost hypnotic appearance. But Yarnaby wasn't always this monstrous entity. Originally, Yarnaby was Quinn Navidson, a young orphan taken in by Playtime Co. and subjected to their cruel Bigger Bodies initiative, ultimately becoming Experiment 1166. This experiment wasn't exactly a simple transformation. It was a methodical process of manipulation and conditioning intended to strip Quinn of his humanity and mold him into something Playtime Co. could control. Yarnaby's design, with his cheerful, flower-like face and vibrant colors, seemed deceptively innocent. The vibrant colors likely serve a purpose, an attraction tactic designed to draw people in with a friendly, approachable appearance, only to reveal the creature's true, horrifying nature when provoked.
Okay, so my thing is with this is like we're in a cave, right? We've now been descended down to the lower parts of this toy factory, right? If this is supposed to be a darker aesthetic, but you're coming off as this brightly colored hypnotic type of creature, that's almost contradictory in a way. You know what I'm saying? Can we talk about how fucked up this shit is? Yeah. Yarnaby doesn't scare me that much, unlike the catnap, and I was actually more scared of catnap. I'm not gonna lie. But then again, let me not talk too early, because I have to wait until January 4th until this game comes out. But this is where it's like, you see this dark aesthetic. Like, this is very ominous looking with red lights. You see like the shading of the, you know what I'm saying, like all of the toy mountain and everything like that, you know?
Under the guidance of Dr. Harley Sawyer, Yarnaby was engineered with a unique loyalty to Sawyer himself, a connection fostered through isolation and psychological manipulation. Sawyer carefully crafted Yarnaby's dependence, ensuring that he had no else to turn to, which made Sawyer the center of his world. When Sawyer was removed, however, Yarnaby was unresponsive to the staff, showing behaviors of grief and mourning. This resulted in the person observing him not knowing what to do with him and moving him up to someone else, hoping that they would know what to do. And I guess what we see in the trailer is the results of Yarnaby being left in isolation for so agonizingly long. One of the trailer's most unsettling elements is the pervasive red smoke seeping from pipes and capsules throughout the caves. The smoke isn't just atmospheric, it feels purposeful, an essential part of Playtime Co.'s darker experiments. Given what we know about the Bigger Bodies initiative, this red smoke could be a vital component in the process of transforming orphans into sentient.
You said which one is more scary? Huggy or catnap? Oh, it's catnap for me, gang. It's catnap. Huggy's not too bad. At least it was expected with Huggy. I already knew just off of instinct. I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna get chased here. Catnap, from the moment he dropped us in the beginning of the game, we was being watched the entire time. He'd be in the little corners and the vents and everything like that. Like he can't stop smiling. No, he couldn't just stop lurking. Like that is a definition of like, oh, I'm like, you know, as like a prey. Like prey. That's exactly what it is. It's like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna watch you through all of this. And then when it is I'm ready, I will appear out. Like Catnap was literally playing with his food the entire game. I want to be very clear. He was playing with his food by trying to get enjoyment out of it. More sadistic.
Toys. The smoke's distribution through pipes and dispersal into various areas of the factory suggests it was intended to saturate the environment, ensuring that anyone exposed would inhale its effects continuously. This could mean that the red smoke was used to soften orphans, altering their mental states or physical constitution to make them more susceptible to the experimentation process.
This is why it is I like the color blue. You know what I'm saying? There is no blue smoke, blue aesthetic in this entire thing. Let me stop.
Perhaps it was a conditioning agent meant to dull their senses, break down their cognitive resistance, or enhance certain traits
but he wasn't in blue smoke, though.
To transformation into toys. The concentrated areas of red smoke we see in the trailer, particularly in the room with blood-stained walls, may signify areas where the transformations were particularly aggressive or unstable, leading to violent outbursts or failed experiments. In terms of gameplay, the red smoke could serve as a hazard, forcing players to navigate carefully through areas where prolonged exposure might have negative effects. Imagine needing to hold your breath or find gas masks to traverse certain sections, adding an extra layer of strategy and urgency as you explore the deeper parts of the factory. One of the most jarring visuals in the trailer is the mountain of discarded plush toys piled up like a graveyard of failed creations. This heap of broken, lifeless toys isn't just discarded merchandise, it's likely a collection of Playtime Co.'s unsuccessful attempts at creating sentient beings. Each plush here represents an experiment gone wrong, a life that was molded, twisted, and ultimately abandoned when it didn't meet the company's standards. These toys might have been prototypes of the Bigger Bodies experiments, discarded when
because now thinking about it, like the amount of the experiments it is that they've done, we're talking about in the thousands at this point. So this very man, Playtime Co. Y'all sick in the head, man. Y'all are very sick.
They exhibited flaws, instability, or simply didn't perform as expected. It's possible that many of these toys were early versions of sentient beings, attempts to bridge the gap between toy and human, but they fell short, either failing to come to life or becoming dangerously unstable. Playtime Co. likely disposed of them here, treating them as disposable byproducts in their relentless pursuit of perfection. The sight of this toy.
But the thing is, like, if you was to work here, honestly, you probably might have to go to go to counseling or go to some type of therapy, because think about this for a second, chat. Like these are kids essentially within this game that were being manipulated and being controlled into turning humans into toys. That's very twisted by itself to even say that. To have a company literally go for years on these experiments with these toys or experiments with these kids, you know? And then you have these toys now that were used to be humans have the expressive of like feelings and emotions and everything like that, which is why it is like I hate to see what it is they did to my nigga Kissy, because that was uncalled for. Kissy ain't did nothing, but you can tell it is like she was definitely sad about the things it is that has happened, you know, in the duration. Now I'll work onto McDonald's more than working in Playtime. Yeah, bro, anywhere at this point. How old were the kids? Definitely under 10 or under 12, I'd say that. They would go to a therapist to enjoy a challenge. Nah, that's crazy. Nah, you're sick. You're sick to say that's Amazon. Nah. Yeah, so anything like 12 and under, like the kids within this game, let me reiterate this. The children in this game history, the lore behind it, were subjected to becoming like toys.
Graveyard serves as a grim reminder of Playtime Co.'s ruthlessness, their willingness to discard anything or anyone that didn't serve their purpose. In Chapter 4, the Mountain of Dead Toys could be more than just a haunting backdrop. It might serve as an interactive area where players can find clues, remnants of failed experiments, or even encounter spectral remnants of past toys. It would add a layer of horror if certain toys within the pile could briefly awaken or serve as temporary obstacles, reminding players that even in death, these creations are haunted by the remnants of their twisted existence.
Damn.
Throughout the trailer, we noticed several surveillance cameras tracking our movements, almost as if they're alive. In a place as secretive and dangerous as the Playtime Co. facility, the presence of surveillance systems is expected, but these cameras feel more intentional, as if someone or something is actively monitoring us. There are two possibilities here. Either the cameras are automated, performing routine scans to monitor the factory's inhabitants, or they're under the control of a sentient entity like the prototype. If the prototype has gained control over the cameras, it would mean that it has an extensive awareness of our movements and might even be manipulating the environment to increase our challenges.
Bro, come on, bro. I done forgot the POV. This is the future of Disney. Wow. Oh, wow. 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 I can't say what it is I want to say. I'll say what it is I'm not recording. Wow. Say it, I'll say it afterwards, bro. But what's scaring me is that like now you got Yarnaby, this new new antagonist villain, and I completely forgot about the prototype. Bro, all the stuff, the information of the prototype just left my mind for a second. So now I'm really sitting here thinking like we got Yarnaby, we got these nightmare critters, and then on top of the two we got the prototype. Are we going to see more of the prototype within Chapter 4, or is this going to be little things here and there? Because each game we've seen the hand of this prototype, and we've learned about what this prototype. Some information, right? We've learned about what the prototype in each of this game, except for Chapter 1. From Chapter 2 on, we knew about with this prototype. We just didn't really know like a name. We seen the first appearance was in Chapter 2, But I hope it is that we get more closer to what this prototype looks like. Where is Ollie? Is Ollie a variation of the prototype? Was he the prototype this entire time? I got questions. And I'm sure it is. I'm probably gonna find out more once it is that I play this,
From a gameplay standpoint, these cameras could function as obstacles that players need to avoid or disable to prevent alarms from alerting nearby threats. Imagine
I hope that's not the case.
Time your
I hope that this is not the case. If this turns into you gotta go ahead and disable the alarms within these cameras, I'm cooked. I'm cooked, bro.
Movements carefully, slipping past camera blind spots, or finding ways to temporarily disable surveillance systems to navigate through high security areas undetected. The shifting red eye on the monitor also suggests that these surveillance systems have an alert mode, possibly detecting intrusions or heightened activity levels, indicating when danger is near. The concept of a sentient surveillance system adds a psychological layer to the horror, as players may feel like they're being hunted even in seemingly empty rooms, with every movement monitored by an unseen entity.
He said maybe Ollie is on our side but gets packed up by the prototype if he moves from his hiding spot. I don't I don't know, gang. I'm sold on the fact it is that Ollie is the prototype. Because when the experiments was going on with the prototype, we've learned it is that he can mimic different voices. Different types of voices. So at this point, I just don't trust it. I don't trust Ollie. I still don't trust Ollie. At this point, I'm burning the building down. I we may get chapter 5 and 6 of this, and we still were probably gonna not know like fully about what's like this. Or maybe chapter 5 or 6 will be like the end of like, getting rid of the prototype. You know what I mean? If the prototype is an actual prototype, then why does he have needle sharp fingers in the toy factory? Good observation. This is good enough for me.
One of the lingering mysteries from Chapter 3 is the fate of Kissy Missy. After hearing her being attacked, we're left uncertain of her condition or whether she's even alive.
I hope
Kissy
she's
Missy
okay.
stood out as one of the more complex toys in the Playtime Co facility, showing signs of autonomy and even empathy, as evidenced by her helping the player in Chapter 2. If Kissy Missy has survived, she could become a valuable ally in Chapter 4, potentially guiding the player through the more treacherous parts of the facility. However, given the nature of Playtime Co. and the prototype's influence, it's also possible that she's been captured or reprogrammed, turning her into an unwilling adversary. In that scenario, the player might have to rescue or even reawaken Kissy Missy, breaking whatever control the prototype has over her.
No.
This would add an emotional aspect to the gameplay, as players grapple with the potential loss or salvation of a beloved character. Alternatively, if Kissy Missy is dead, her absence could serve as a tragic reminder of the facility's brutality, reinforcing the message that any ally we encounter is vulnerable and will be killed. As Chapter 4 draws nearer, all signs point to a climactic confrontation with the prototype. The red smoke pipes scattered throughout the facility represent one of the most ominous features in the Chapter 4 trailer. The factory's use of this smoke feels like it's been a crucial part of the Bigger Bodies initiative, possibly used to mutate and condition orphans before transforming them into monstrous toys. The eye on the monitor shifting from calm to red suggests a surveillance system that's far more complex than we've encountered before. In Chapter 4, these monitors could be one of the main ways the prototype observes and controls its surroundings. With the eye flickering from purple to red, players are alerted to a shift in danger, indicating that something in the environment has changed and that we may be about to encounter new threats. The eye's reaction to our presence means that players will need to pay close attention to these monitors as they navigate the factory. Seeing the eye turn red might signal nearby toys on high alert, potentially forcing the player to hide or avoid being detected. If the prototype is indeed watching through this system, it could mean that it's able to set traps or lure players into dangerous areas based on what the monitors detect. This mechanic adds a new layer of gameplay where players need to stay vigilant for any change in the eye's color. One wrong step could mean altering the prototype or triggering a series of attacks from nearby toys, making the area extremely difficult to go through. The movement of this one camera suggests that someone or something is observing the player's every move. If these these cameras are automated, then they might simply serve as parts of Playtime Co.'s abandoned security system, keeping watch over the factory even in its current state. However, if the prototype is in control, then these cameras could be more than just passive observers. They're tools for hunting and tracking us. Imagine exploring a room only for a camera to swivel in our direction, locking onto our position and possibly triggering a chase sequence. If the cameras are
I was just about to say this. I was just about to say this. You know, Poppy Playtime, out of all of the games, you already know a chase scene is gonna happen. I'm already hip to this, bro. Damn. Damn. You already know this. We gonna get chased and hunted within Poppy Playtime. That's normally how it goes. Kissy Missy better be alive or I'm gonna crash. Bro, I think I'm gonna crash out, bro. I'm gonna crash out. It is if I don't see her alive, gang.
indeed controlled by the prototype, this gives it an almost omniscient-like presence in the factory, a relentless force that sees everything, knows everything, and uses every available tool to thwart our escape. The prototype's control over the cameras would also mean that players might have to disable or hack the security systems to advance, introducing a stealth-based mechanic where moving unseen becomes essential. But what do you guys think? Make sure to let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on this video right here.
Welp, you think we're gonna get a clown monster in the future? I mean, wasn't we supposed to get, was it Boxy? Correct me if I'm wrong, or wasn't we supposed to get Boxy? So I'm taking Kissy Missy with me and burn this bit. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, see? So I can only imagine how long this game is going to be for chapter 4. Because it took me a smooth little 7-8 hours to beat chapter 3. But I'm not mad at it. Poppy Theory, thank you so much for the video. Shout outs to you. I can't wait to play Poppy Playtime chapter 4. Even with all of that, just thinking about it makes me a little nervous, but it's okay. I'm excited, y'all. I am excited to play this game. Y'all got me involved with this franchise and this series, and now I feel like it is that now I have to continue to keep doing so. Shout outs to y'all in the chat. Shout outs to you at home. I'll catch y'all in the next video.